So we're talking about religion and spirituality and how George Bush kind of embodies religion because he's a religious guy, and Barack Obama embodies spirituality. So why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Well, I think that it's a very important distinction we're talking about here as we're walking on Saturday night between George Bush and Barack Obama. Both of them feel themselves deeply connected to spirit. Bush, however, George Bush, we got a train coming here. George Bush feels deeply connected to religion, right? He's connected to religion. He's connected to, classical Christianity, fundamentalist Christianity, and that's a religious expression. He feels called by God, right? He feels like he's a messenger of God, which is a classical religious position. Barack Obama, is not connected that much with religion, although he was part of the black church movement, but is really an expression of spirituality. He's an expression of, a sense that we as human beings are part of the fabric of, evolving the universe. And he doesn't have a sense of us and them. He has more of a more flowing spirituality sense, a more
amorphous doesn't sound like it stands for anything.
I don't think it stands for nothing. I think that's one of the problems with religion and spirituality. Each one has a shadow. Religion sometimes stands for too much, right? And some of the religions of our world, too much. We have too much truth. It's us. It's not you, right? It's us and them. And spirituality sometimes stands for too little, right? But they both have something to say. They both have something to offer. But they're two very different models of leadership and two different models of spirit in the world. One, spirituality, the other, religion. And that's a good distinction.
But, why do you say that Obama stands for spirituality when he goes to church just as much as Bush?
Because Obama doesn't stand for a religious position that says, we have the truth and you don't. Right? He stands for him, going to church is an expression of universal spirit. Right? For George Bush, going to church expresses, a very particular expression of religion, which for George Bush is the correct expression, and all expressions other than that expression are somehow profoundly less correct. Now, again, I'm not arguing for Bush or Obama right now.
Right.
I'm just kind of pointing out the distinction, and what a more beautiful place to point it out than as we enter, the Mormon Christmas lights here in Salt Lake City. Now, Mormonism is actually very clearly, and take a look here. This is, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Mormonism is very, very similar to Bush here. Mormonism is a church with a particular doctrine, and if you're in the doctrine, you're part of the celestial family, and if you're not in the doctrine, you're not part of the celestial family. Now, that creates enormous beauty in terms of the people who are committed to the church family, and Mormonism is loving to people all over the world, and yet there's a very clear sense, we're in, you're out. And that's always the shadow of religion, is we're in, you're out. The shadow of spirituality is we're not sure where in and out is. Right? There's a confusion.
What's shadow? Shadow means something negative, so
that's right.
Boundaries saying we're in and you're out, there's nothing inherently negative about that.
Other than the fact that for most of the last 2,000 years, the people in killed the people who were out. Right? A little minor problem. Kind of the Crusades, Inquisition, Holocaust. Other than that detail, there was no problem.
You think there's something inherently dangerous in the belief of we're in and you're out?
I think there's something inherently wrong in the belief that we're in, you're out. In other words, what may be true is that I can believe that my truth system is more authentic, covers more of reality, right? Explains more, is deeper than yours. That's legitimate, right? And there's no notion that we have to think we're all equal. The idea that because someone says an idea, it's equal to another idea is, of course, New Age nonsense. Not all ideas are equal. There's a hierarchy of ideas. Some ideas are better than other ideas. That's clearly true. However, there has to be a sense that all authentic, deeply thought through, inspired expressions have holiness to them, have legitimacy to them, have validity to them. Okay, let's look around now.
No, she's gonna lose us. Why did he?
See, about the Middle East.
So it's Saturday night here in Salt Lake City, about 8 p.m. December 6th, 2008. And there was a big football game earlier today. I think BYU versus University of Utah. And I think that partly counts for the crowds, but they're huge.
Last
time I was here, they
it doesn't add up. And of course,